Okay, so hopefully you came to this conclusion. This is the first quadrant, and in the first quadrant, x and y are both positive. So I'm going to go up here and write x and y. They're both positive. If x and y are both positive here and I reflect it over the y-axis, the x becomes negative. So over here my y is positive and my x is negative. So that means this ordered pair is going to be exactly the same, except it's going to be a negative x, so negative root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. And when you go down into the third quadrant, they're both negative. X and y are negative. So that means this ordered pair down here is going to stay exactly the same, except it's going to be a negative x and negative y. And in the fourth quadrant, the x is positive and the y is negative, and the ordered pair is going to be root 2 over 2, negative root 2 over 2. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at this triangle right here. And I'm actually going to draw that triangle in every single quadrant before we start. So I'm just going through and drawing the triangle in, because as you now know, all of these triangles are going to be related. And if you look, they're making what I call bow ties, but they're all connected. The blue ones are all connected and they all have the same ordered pairs. So all the yellow ones that I just drew are going to have the same ordered pairs as well. Not the same as the blue ones, but the same ordered pairs all together. So now I'm just going to put my paper down real quick, and I'm going to draw my triangle. So right now I'm looking at this triangle. And this is also a very special triangle. It's a 30, 60, 90. So 30, 60, 90. Well, the 30, 60, 90 triangle, this is x, 2x, and x root 3. And I'm going to do the same exact math. This right here is the radius, so that means that 2x has to equal 1, so x equals 1/2, which means this side right here is 1/2, and this side right here is root 3 over 2, which means I've gone side to side, root 3 over 2, and up and down 1/2. So I went side to side, root 3 over 2, and up and down 1/2. And now you can just go around the circle and fill in your ordered pairs. So negative root 3 over 2, positive 1/2. And then negative root 3 over 2, negative 1/2. And then over here in this last quadrant, root 3 over 2, negative 1/2. And then finally, we're going to draw in our last set of bow ties or triangles, which is the taller one. And while you're drawing them, I just need you to think about, how is it that I can use what on my paper is the yellow bow tie or the yellow triangle to find this pink triangle. So if I take my paper out, we'll draw it over here. I don't have a 45, 45, 90. I don't have a 30, 60, 90. I have a 60, 30, 90. So this is, oh, you can't see, sorry, that's 60, 30, and 90. And this triangle sides are going to be x, x root 3, and 2x. But wait a minute, this looks just like this triangle. Well, that's because they're the same. In fact, if I dare ask you to remember back to first 6 weeks, this right here, this blue line, is like the line y equals x. X and y are the same, so this is line y equals x. I've taken this ordered pair and I reflect it over the line y equals x, which means when you reflect over the line y equals x and you're talking about inverses, x becomes y and y becomes x. So all that happens here is that this ordered pair flips. So 1/2 root 3 over 2. And then in this quadrant, x is negative, so negative 1/2 root 3 over 2. And in the bottom quadrant, they're both negative, so negative 1/2 negative root 3 over 2. And in the fourth quadrant, it's going to be 1/2 negative root 3 over 2. And now all we have left to fill in is the really easy ordered pairs. And I call them the easy ordered pairs because this is a radii. So just think logically for a second. If this is a radii, how far side to side have you gone? You've gone 1 because you're on the unit circle, and you have not gone up and down at all. Same concept up here. You've gone side to side none and up 1. And then be very careful when you get over here. You went -1, 0, and down at the bottom, it should be 0, -1. Yes, you have to memorize all these ordered pairs. And I know that you're sitting there saying, oh my goodness, it's so much to memorize. Well, you can do this. Use your patterns. 30, 15, 15, 30 will get you the degrees. And then you can start at 0, and every 30 degrees is a pi over 6, and there's 12 of them. So 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 6 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, 8 pi over 6, 9 pi over 6, 10 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, 12 pi over 6. I know you can count to 12. I have faith in you. And then you count to 8, and you divide by 4. So 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4. And then all you're left with is the ordered pairs. And really, in theory, you just need to memorize the first quadrant because all the other quadrants are the same. The signs just change. Or you can count to 3. Start up top. 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And you always divide by 2. The denominator is always 2. And if you're worried that you're going to forget when to square root, you could throw a square root on the 1 if you wanted to help you memorize. It's really not the square root of 1, but the square root of 1 is just 1. So square root of 1 is 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, back the other way. So now you can fill out the unit circle. In a future lesson, we're going to talk about filling in all these other lines that you see that are around the unit circle, but not right now. So this is what you have to memorize. And now, any day after today, it is fair game at any point in time to give you a pop quiz of the unit circle. It can be a blank unit circle, and we can ask you to fill in anything we want. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant, radians, degrees, ordered pairs, all of it. You just have to memorize it over and over and over again. A link will post on Edmodo that's going to have a web page link or web address to a web page called embeddedmath.com, and that link will take you to a place where you can print free unit circles so you can practice and make sure you ace all your future quizzes.